Ashli Babbitt, the Trump supporter who was shot and killed by Capitol Police on January 6th. She was unarmed. She did not pose a deadly threat to anyone. We all saw the videotape, and it's an outrage that the officer has been officially exonerated. We all saw what he did, and we all saw that it was wrong. Not a police department in the country could justify this shooting. Let's watch it again, please. No warning, and I hear that she posed an imminent deadly threat to someone. To who? To whom? Mike Pence was 8 rooms away in the basement. The deadly threat? I don't see it. So, this is interesting, though. We're going to meet the man behind the gun, the man who pulled the trigger, will be interviewed tomorrow night by Lester Holt. Lester Holt at NBC News has already put out a statement, and the bias is loud and clear. They're calling it an insurrection. They're dwelling on all the threats this individual has received. Lester Holt has been wrong from the beginning of this in such glaring ways.
Tonight, the push intensifying to impeach President Trump for inciting the deadly attack on the Capitol. And federal authorities have arrested 2 men in the assault of a U.S. Capitol police officer who later died. Officials say the man, one from Pennsylvania, the other from West Virginia, worked together to spray Officer Brian Sicknick with a chemical during the Capitol riot. This unrest breaking out just after President Trump spoke at a rally near the White House, stoking the crowd by falsely claiming he won the election. A history-making second impeachment could be in the cards for President Trump as soon as next week. House Democrats tonight determined to hold him accountable for fanning the deadly violence at the Capitol on Wednesday.
You hear the language? He's not neutral. He's already made up his mind. Now, this is an opinion show, okay? I take facts, I look at them, I connect the dots, and I have an opinion about them. He's supposed to be objective. NBC News, we just play it straight. They don't, obviously. And that's what's so sinister about them. So he's the guy who's going to interview the shooter from January 6th. And I'm not sure, but there might be a big racial component to all of this. We'll find out more tomorrow night. I did mention that the officer whose identity we don't know has received threats. That's unfortunate. I don't want anything illegal to happen to this officer, but in police-involved shootings, especially controversial ones, the name is usually released. Kim Potter was the officer who shot Dante Wright. Remember that? It was an accidental shooting, she says. It looks that way. This is her house, okay? Nobody debated whether or not we were going to learn her name. We did like that. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. All right. Also this regarding January 6th. Another investigation, and they're demanding records. Select committee issues sweeping demand for executive branch records. And let's go inside, please. January 6th records include: our Constitution provides for a peaceful transfer of power, and this investigation seeks to evaluate threats to that process, identify lessons learned, and recommend laws, policies, procedures, rules, or regulations necessary to protect our republic in the future. I'm really surprised, actually, they're still pushing this after we all saw a real insurrection in Afghanistan. It really puts January 6th in perspective. These are some of the names they want the records from. Everybody: Donald Trump, Mike Pence, all the way down to Mike Lindell. All right, good luck with that. I think the American people, we get it. We get it. Oh, this is interesting. How about a committee hearing into this? The Secret Service warned Capitol Police about violent threats one day before January 6th. Yes, Politico has uncovered documents. Let's take a look. Document number 1 says, per our Denver field office, this is a Secret Service communication, a concerned citizen reported that blank were flying into BWI, Baltimore Airport, today to attend tomorrow's rally and incite violence. In addition, the source reports that blank, redacted, previously made threats against President-elect Biden. The source also reported that redacted, blank, was driving to D.C. with gear and weapons to include ballistic helmets, armored gloves and vests, rifles, and suppressors. Well, if I were running the Capitol Police and I got a report like this, I might set up a perimeter fence, some security. Can somebody tell me, did they ever figure out who this little cop is who encouraged everybody to come right on in? Those are the questions I want answered. We'll be right back.